guys, welcome back to Raven Rock channel. So in this episode, we're going to explain the very basic definition of ETF, which means exchange traded funds, and how are we going to apply this specific investing vehicle and apply to our daily investing. So a lot of people will be talking about like ETF all the time, but only like a few people really can really make profit via like trading ETF. The reason why is because most of the people fail to understand the mechanism of trading ETF, because there are all sorts of ETF. There are like leverage ETFs, inverse ETFs, index ETFs, currency ETFs, and etc. So there is a variety of different ETFs for different people to invest or to trade, but different ETF would be having different having very different mechanism, which is the reason why we need this website, which is etfdb.com. So to be clarified, I'm not getting any sponsorship from this website, but I personally find this website extremely useful when it comes to trading and knowing ETFs. So this episode, I'm going to use this website to show you how we're going to find specific ETF that we're going to trade and be able to understand the ETF from in and out, and be able to really make profit in the financial market. So we'll move on. Now we can see this is the homepage of etfdatabase.com. Here we have like different like leading or say very trending ETF that you can trade. For example, IBB, which is a ETF that's trading biotechnology, and there's also XBI, which is trading for S&P Biotech ETF, and there are all sorts of ETF. But to begin, I think most of the beginner should start trading for example, SPY, IWM. The reason why is because SPY is one of the largest and most liquid ETF for individual investor. That means you can start building your position when S&P is going up. If you're long SPY, you'll be making profit. So SPY is very crucial when one is willing to trade S&P. And also SPY has tradable options, right? You have ETF options, which is like even better, which allows you to reduce the threshold for your trading account. Because if you're thinking about trading, for example, large size contract, for example, like SPX, the margin would be thousands of dollars. But if you look at the price here, if you pay $442, you start buying one ETF, which is a bit cheaper. So in a sense, SPY is a good way to trade. And also, a lot of people are actually investing, like passive investing. They're paying a lot of commissions for the financial institutions just to long SPY. So why not do it yourself, saving those commissions, so you can stop paying for those expensive fees to your financial consultant, but instead you have your own retirement account long SPY. And also the other benefit of trading ETF is that you get tax benefit, right? You pay less tax. You actually pay for less of the capital gain tax. So right now, if you're like, for example, US citizens, you're going to you're going to pay for more of the taxes because there are lots of policies that's trying to get more tax out of people. And right now, trading in the financial market, it's like everyone's doing that. So the government decided to raise the tax for trading and also the capital gain. So if you're investing in ETF, that really helps you to pay less tax. We call this tax evasion. Where this is just a smart way to pay for the less of the tax. So you can also consider trading SPY as well. So here you actually see all the necessary information that you need to know before you trade this ETF. So this is a large cap growth equities ETF. And here, if you're interested, you can see the valuation of these ETF. You can see the P ratio of this ETF is currently trading at 22.2 P ratio. And right now, the S&P is paying 1.27% of annual dividend yield. So here you see you kind of have a clear picture of what SPY is currently trading at. Here you see this is expensive, like you see the overall expenses and fees when you're investing in the ETF. In a sense, you're paying for the fund managers to help you allocate your assets, balancing those portfolios so the ETF can actually work and track the indices. So that's the reason why you have to pay a minimum of 0.09% of expenses and fees to the issuer and the manager of the ETF. So here you see these are the top 15 holdings. Most of them are stocks. So you actually see what would be the inside of these ETF. As you can see here, SPY is holding 6% of Apple, nearly 6% of Microsoft, nearly 4% of Amazon, Facebook, Google, etc. So you see Procter & Gamble Company, Visa, Johnson. We are talking about big blue chip stocks. So here, you no longer have to buy all these stocks individually. The ETF manager could do this for you, only for a very small amount of fee. So which is the reason why a lot of people, more and more people, start investing in ETF, because ETF investing is simply the trend. It's very difficult to go against that trend. Of course, there'll be a lot of people argue against me. Well, you can learn about how to trade and you can get back your financial dependency. But that's the standpoint. I would agree with that. But the point is, there will be other people, for example, who are not willing to take as much as the risk. They're not willing to trade for themselves. Maybe they will just become like a passive investor. So this is what they would do. They would simply long ETF with their retirement account. They actually pay for a really low management fee, and they pay for. It's very convenient. It's super easy. You don't have to pay for your consultant. Why not? Why not doing so? So ETF investing is a new trend. So we will talk about. Of course, ETF brings some of the really complicated problem into the financial market. All right, in the future, we'll be talking about that kind of topic. Explaining why ETF sometimes could be a big problem for the financial market. But for now, let's focus on understanding the basic concept and the function of ETF. Here you see different variables. All the technical details are right here. So these ETF database is really useful. It also contains a lot of podcasts and stuff. And the most exciting feature of this website is that you can actually check for very popular ETF, and then you can actually go and look for those ETF issuer yourself. Sometimes it's extremely important for you to do a little bit of homework so you understand precisely what you're trading. Like, for example, I would always talk about there is a ETN, which is XIV, okay, and these XIV ETN was, basically stopped trading for a very quite embarrassing kind of reason, because the VIX is spiking, and for some reason XIV, it's a financial vehicle that it's not insured. In a sense, is that because the ETF has lost so much money, the issuer of this ETN XIV decided to liquidate this XIV. So a lot of people have been trading XIV and not being compensated. They are facing huge amount of losses, but because they are trading ETN, which is not like ETF, which is the reason why they are not going to get any compensation, because they were trading ETN. So for that kind of thing, it's very important for you to, do at least some of the homework before you trade all these ETFs. You want to know who actually issued those ETFs and what would be the fee structure of that ETF, and if that ETF is, liquid or not, right? You want to get inside of these small details, and that's how you become a good investor. So here you see different issuer. Here you see BlackRock Financial Management, State Street, Invesco, Vanguard, which is a very, very popular firm. All right. We always talk about John Bogle. Next time we have time to talk about John Bogle himself. And you see different issuer here that they're issuing different types of ETF, all have different functions, different features in different sectors. So these amazing features allow you to, conduct a really detailed and, analysis of all these ETF. And here you see popular ETF, right? So the basic idea of holding ETF is that you don't have to pick stocks, right? Because in a lot of scenarios, it's really difficult for you to pick a stock, right? So maybe, for example, you're an expert in oil exploration and you understand inside out of that oil industry. So maybe investing oil ETF would be a good idea. But as an oil expert yourself, you are not necessarily, knowledgeable when it comes to company financials and balance sheet and all these things. So maybe you don't really have time to do all these stock picking out of these, hundreds, even thousands of tradable stocks, and trying to find one or two stocks that's going to beat the benchmark. It's really difficult. So instead of doing that, you can simply trade, for example, like oil ETF, right? So you see here the top 7 oil ETF: USO, UCO, DBO, USL, SCO, OIL, right? It's easy. How do you trade these indices and these financial vehicles? It's rather easy. Just open a US account, maybe a US trading accounts, and then you can type all these ticker inside the search box, and you can find all these ETF yourself and start buying or maybe selling all these ETF. And some of these ETF even provides tradable options, which will make your trading a lot more easier and safer instead of trading maybe futures, right? So this is what you have to know before you trade ETF, which is the reason why, and you should learn about trading ETF, because it saves you so much of time. You don't have to pick stocks for yourself. You don't have to read 1,000 pages of financial statements and balance sheet in order to find 1 or 2 companies that really beats the market, beats the benchmark, instead of that, you can simply buy the whole sector through cheap ETF. So here you see different popular ETF sector, dividends. Maybe you're trying to get some dividends, utility stocks. Maybe you're interested in corporate bonds. Maybe you're very interested in high yield, but a little bit risky but tasty kind of high yield bonds. And sometimes you just want to go really exciting and you want to be a speculator kind of type. You want to be Joe Soros, then you can trade a leverage ETF or maybe a leverage ETN, right? So in the next episode, I'll be covering basic idea of leverage ETF and inverse ETF and how they can be traded. So, and here you see silver, you see smart beta, you see SPY, bonds, XLE, and all these VXX volatilities, ETF, ETN, all these different kind of investment instruments. So it's just so much fun when trading to it, right? So this is the main content of our for this episode. For now, I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you want to learn more, you can subscribe my YouTube channel, and then you can also support me through the Patreon, and also you can go follow my Facebook page and Medium page. I would try to also upload some of my English articles. For now, most of the articles are written in Chinese. So, but right now I'm trying to translate all these articles in a sense that foreigners, especially like Westerners, be able to comprehend what I'm trying to say easily. Okay, so I'm covering a lot of subjects like cryptocurrency. I'm covering commodities, economic concepts, and etc. So I hope you guys enjoy my content. Please share, subscribe, follow my Twitter accounts, and also share to your friends, join our community. So thank you for your support. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.